Welcome to my channel, Blissfully Single Being. I don't know how you got here, but trust and believe I appreciate every eyeball that is eyeballing this video. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Was it not serving tonight, or was it not serving? It was serving everything that I needed. You know, we waited all season long to see Kenya and Nene get, and it gave me exactly what I needed. Let's dive on right into it. Dennis shows up in Toronto at Tanya's event, then just looking like a snake flowing through the crowd looking for Portia. He finally spots up and he surprises her, and Portia's like, oh my God, oh. Dennis gives a very brief speech about how he almost lost his family 2 months ago because he was being selfish. And he gets on his knees and he proposes to Portia. And I'm like, I don't find this sweet at all. I don't find this romantic at all. I find this manipulative. I find this a little bit controlling. I find this to be an ambush. First, you cheat on the woman while she's pregnant. The woman breaks up with you. You did the tackiest move by asking for the ring back, and then you fly all the way to Toronto with that same raggedy ring to give it back to her. I don't like Dennis, but Portia's very happy, and I guess that's all that matters. And later on in the episode, Kenya's in a confessional, and Kenya says, the state of my own marriage, I really can't talk. So if Portia's happy with Dennis, then I am happy for her. That's all well and good, but yeah, I don't think Dennis is up to any good. And I know y'all heard the tea last week about Dennis being out and about at 4 a.m. in these streets of Atlanta with all these random women on some kind of group date without Portia. But Portia is through the roof. She's elated about this re-engagement. I don't think that's a word, so we're gonna go with it's not a word. She's happy. The girls are on a bus headed back. It seems like Kenya and Yvonne are pissy ass drunk, and they're kind of annoying. Kenya is especially annoying because Kenya is imitating the way Tanya talks. First of all, Kenya, you didn't sound anything like Tana. Second of all, like, why? Do you have beef with this woman? What is going on? That scene confused me, and I'm like, Kenya, you're doing a little bit too much. Tone it down a little bit. So thankfully she did tone it down, and she directed her energy towards Portia and asked Portia about, I think she congratulated Portia, but she did ask Portia about what happened with her and Dennis. And Portia's like, oh, you mean the blogs? And yeah, that's certainly what they were talking about, the blogs. Portia says that stuff wasn't true. That whole bestiality stuff, and then she had all... who was it? It was a vlogger. What was her name? Was it Tasha K or something? I think it was Tasha K. Bestiality, all these girls he done ripped off to make his empire. He started with selling hair with the female business partner that he was sleeping with. He ripped her off. It was a whole bunch of nonsense. But Portia's saying none of that is true. And Marla was like, oh, thank God none of that is true, because I didn't want to bring any of my puppies around Dennis. I said, oh. Not the puppies. Marlo said her puppies are safe. I cannot. These ladies are so damn shady. Well, Portia says, listen, I'm fighting for my family, and I'm not embarrassed about fighting for my family. And this is when Nene comes in and interjects that communication is very important in a relationship. And Portia, you should go ahead on there and fight for your family. Don't tell nobody not to fight for your family. Yeah, and Nene, I do understand. And I'm one of those women. If I'm with someone and I'm cheated on, if I'm married and I'm cheated on, that doesn't necessarily mean a break in the relationship. But at the same time, I've got to have trust built up enough in you. You as the man have to build up that trust in me so that I know, yes, you did stray, but you're sorry. You love your family. You love me. And that's not a mistake that you're going to make again. And I don't think that Portia got to that point. I really don't. And just to go back a little bit, when Dennis did the pop-up at Tanya's thing, she said, Dennis has shown me his... No. At the bus, when she was talking about the whole, re-engagement thing. We're going to keep going with re-engagement. She mentioned that Dennis's actions as far as proposing to her conveyed honesty. That's not conveying honesty. Conveying honesty takes a hell of a lot more work than jumping your ass on a flight to Toronto and proposing. I mean, that's just me. So they suggest that, so Snakegate comes up in the bus, and they suggest that all the ladies get together in Marlo's room so that they can discuss Snakegate. I don't know about you guys, but after this episode, I don't want to hear anything about snakes. I don't want to see a snakeskin belt. I don't want to see any purses, no snakes. I'm just so tired of it, and I'm over it. I'm going to get into it a little bit later. So Snakegate. Everybody's in Marlo's room. You know Marlo's room has to be super cute. Like, she has the M-A-R-L-O letters in glittery silver behind her. Marlo is so over the top and extra. She's everything that I want to be when it comes to the fashions. Everything else, personality, you can keep that. But anyway, Kenya said, not Kenya, somebody, Portia, or someone asked Cynthia, who do you remember venting to Nene about? And Cynthia only remembers venting or talking to Yvonne. So they set up a trap. So Kenya says, this is what we're going to do. We're going to act like we already know that Yvonne is the snake. So we're going to get her that way. And so while Kenya is planning and talking about everything, Yvonne walks in. They quickly switch up the conversation. But that was really good. The event was really good. Trying to switch it up real quickly. So Yvonne gets there. Oh, something about Yvonne just makes me uneasy. She kind of does look like a snake physically. Physically, or some kind of reptile. I don't know. She makes me feel uneasy. She walks in, and Yvonne thought they were having, ladies, I thought we were having a pajama party. So they tell us sit down. Ain't no damn pajama party. So Portia says, Yvonne, we know that the snake is you. And Kenya adds on, we've got some intel, and we know, in fact, you are the snake. You have been outed. And then Marlo goes, it's all a lie. Like, and Portia's like, girl, really? Didn't we have a plan? Marlo says, I cannot dwell in a space with lies. Am I doing it deep enough? I don't think. I have a pretty deep voice, a pretty raspy voice, and I still don't think I'm hitting Marlo's notes. But Yvonne is kind of like, baby girl is finally in her feelings. Yvonne was like, no, we're not going to have this conversation. The conversation that y'all, instead of talking about snakes, the conversation that y'all really need to be happening is all y'all is fake. All the girls are like, who are you talking to? Who's fake? And yes, Yvonne, who the hell are you talking to? Who the hell is fake? If anyone is fake, you're the fake one. You're the one that just inserted you just inserted yourself into this whole friendship situation. You inserted yourself with the key piece of intel that the ladies are clamoring for, and you're refusing to give up the name. Sus, you are the fake one. So Kenya shuts it down. Kenya was like, we don't care about all that fake nonsense. We are not here for all that nonsense. We are here for Snakegate. So we don't care about anything you have to say about this fake nonsense. Are you the snake? By this moment, I'm sorry, actually it was a little bit before, Nene walks in, titties ablazing. Everybody's like, girl, cover them. Candace like, how are you gonna walk in here with your titties all ablazing, Nene? And Nene's like, oh, it's okay. I got tape over the nipples, girl. I'm gonna need you to have a solid bra. I'm gonna need you to tighten that robe up, because trust and believe, nobody wants to see what's lying under a Miss Nene Leakes robe. Frightening. So they're talking, they're going back and forth, and Nene jumps in. I don't know if Nene was asked a direct question, but there was a direct question about who made the recording. Nene jumps in. I didn't say there was a recording. I said there was audio. There's a difference between a recording and audio. Oh my goodness. Nene, are you serious with this nonsense? Candy in her confessional was like, at this moment, I'm calling bullshit. And Candy, I absolutely agree with you. I am calling bullshit as well. If there is some kind of recording, audio, where is it? And I don't care about what the difference between a recording and or audio is. Is there a snippet of Cynthia talking shit? And if there is, who is the supplier of said audio? This is absolutely vexing. So Nini's giving an example between a recording and an audio. Okay, a recording is when someone has a recorder. We still have recorders in 2020. Someone has a recorder, hit the record button. And audio is something like when Phaedra. But guys, I'm recording. I'll try and edit that. Anyway, Nini was giving the example of how a recording is hitting the button on audio or on something, and audio is when the instance when I think Nini just finished a phone call with Phaedra, but the phone didn't hang up, and Phaedra something or a butt dial or something. But anyway, there was audio of Phaedra talking shit about Cynthia. So Nini's making the distinction between a recording and audio, and that's when Marlo jumps in and says, like with you and Mike, and she's talking about the instance last season where Kenya was invited to the party, but Cynthia whispers in Mike's ear, now I gotta act like I don't know Kenya's gonna be here, and they got the audio of that. Cynthia was like, no, listen, don't do that, girl. Cynthia was in her feelings. Cynthia was upset. And let me tell you something. Cynthia and Marla had an exchange, and Marla was like, I don't know who you talking to. You better not be talking to me. Cynthia was like, I'm talking to you. Whatever, bitch. I know you're asking a motherfucking change. I've never seen Cynthia. Cynthia held her own. Y'all think y'all finna punk Cynthia? Cynthia was like, I ain't even got time for this. But Marlo was like, no, not Marlo. As Cynthia was low-key dragging Marlo, because Cynthia won that exchange between the two. Here comes Nini in the confessional. Now that's the 50 cents I know. She's coming out. What do you mean, Nini? The Cynthia that stands up for herself, if that's who you're talking about, we are absolutely here for 50 cents. Nini, shut your gonzo looking ass up. Anyway, Cynthia's ready to leave. Kenya jumps in to kind of calm down the situation and get to the bottom of everything. And Cynthia's thing is she just wants to know who's the snake. Who the hell is the snake? Who recorded me? That's all she wants to know. She doesn't want to know about A, B, C, and D. Cynthia says, I don't want to hear from you, Marlo. Nini, who is the snake? And Cynthia was Marlo's. Nini says, I ain't no snitch. All right, you ain't no snitch. You ain't no snitch because there's nothing to snitch about. I don't think this whole audio exists. I am so freaking over it. So girls are going back and forth. Marlo says to Yvonne, you got to go ahead and speak to these ladies. You got to tell these ladies something because, Cynthia's coming at me. And Yvonne says there's nothing to say. Yvonne is still playing coy. Either it's two things. Either this recording doesn't exist or either Yvonne, it's you. And if it's you, you are real freaking corny. Bravo, Andy. We don't want her back next season. No. Portia says to Yvonne, you came into this group with this info. You came into this group judging us, calling us fake. You came in here trying to break up friendships. Like, just say what you have to say and call out who the snake is. That's when Yvonne says, let me tell you something. You know who the snake is? The snake is your man. Portia was like, oh, no, honey. Then Portia gets up, honey. We all know. Kenyon, you know, when Portia gets up, some shit is about to go down. Cut to commercial. Back. Girls are going back and forth, arguing. Cynthia walks out. Yvonne is like, you need to worry about your man who's out here in these streets fucking animals. Ooh. Yvonne, I don't like wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. I gotta tap into spirituality to get through this episode. Not only are you coming into this situation stating that you have information that you're withholding, a pertinent piece of information that the ladies should be privy to. Now you taking low blows. Girl, you are as low as you look. At this point, Kenya's over it. Kenya does not even believe there is recording. Kenya firmly believes that Nini's making this whole story up with Yvonne as her road dog to make Cynthia look bad. I don't think that's far-fetched. I really do not think it's far-fetched. The girls are arguing. They make their way into the hallway. And Portia walks up to Nini and says, Nini, you're going to have to tell Yvonne to leave. And Nini tells Yvonne, you're going to have to tell the ladies they have to leave. more back and forth. Most of the ladies go back inside Marlo's room, and that's when Nene tells Yvonne, okay, you're gonna have to tell the ladies. Like, I can't keep fighting all these ladies that I've known for years over this whole situation. Yvonne was like, what are you talking about? It's 8 versus 1. And I absolutely agree. Nene didn't have Yvonne's back. This is all a game to Nene. Nene enjoys being the villain. Nene enjoys being the puppet master and pulling the strings on this whole situation. So in that instance, when Yvonne felt like she was being ganged up on, I 100% agreed. But Nene did convince Yvonne to come back in the room. Yvonne comes back to the room, and Portia's like, no, see, she's got to go. Kenya was like, where is security? Where is security? Yvonne's like, security, because you know Kenya is good for calling security. So Yvonne is there popping off. Portia got up. Portia's making her way towards Yvonne. And I said, Nene, you better get in between Yvonne and Portia, because we all know, if anything, Portia is about that life. So they make their way back into the hallway. I know, it's really confusing. They make their way back into the hallway. Nene is asking Cynthia to hear her out. And Kenya says, no, they're not in the hallway. They're still in the room. Nene's asking Cynthia to hear her out. And Kenya says, you should have said something to Cynthia when she asked you a direct question. And you see, before I watched the episode and I saw that clip of Kenya saying that to Nene, I said to myself, Kenya, stop that. You need to mind your business and let Nene and Cynthia work everything out. Now that I'm seeing this episode and the context behind the episode, I 100% agree with Kenya. Because when they were out in the hallway, when Cynthia was looking at you, crying, asking, who made the recording? And you said, and you refused to answer. They flashed over to the confessional, and the producer said, why wouldn't you just tell Cynthia who made the recording, or if Yvonne made the recording? And you know what Nene said? This is your queen. All you Nene fans, this is your queen. She's a nasty, vile, contemptuous woman. She's disgusting. Nene's response was, I don't owe her that. She didn't tell me stuff that she should have told me, with meaning Kenya was coming to the stupid party last season. So I'm not going to tell her. So you see someone that you call a woman, your friend, hurting for something that she needs badly from you, and you refuse to give her that information. Nene, I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how many nose jobs you get from now until you're about 85. Because trust me, this is not looking too kosher, so you have a couple in your future. You will always be trash. Point blank. So I say all that to say, I agree with Kenya. You had Cynthia's ear. Cynthia was open and receptive to hearing everything you had to say. Now Cynthia is in shutdown mode. We'll talk about this later. So Nene says to Kenya, shut the fuck up. Kenya said, no, you shut the fuck up. And when Kenya said, you shut the fuck up, her finger did like this. And Nene said, don't put your finger in my face. Kenya said, don't put your finger in my face, okay? That's when security comes in and starts separating everybody. Nene was still bucked up. Nene was bucked up, and the security were holding her back, and she's trying to claw and get her way around. So I said, security, let her go. Let her go. I guarantee Nene won't bust a grape in a fruit fight. Nene is all talk. And it's so easy to be gangster when you have security holding you back. But let Kenya say, what's up? I guarantee you it wouldn't come to blows from Kenya's side, or it wouldn't go to blows from Nene's side. Ugh. Punks jump up and get beat down, Nene. Ooh, I can't stand her. Chaos. Everyone's going back and forth. Portia is arguing with Yvonne. Kenya, not Kenya, because by this time, Eva says to Kenya, Kenya, walk me out. And I feel like at that moment she said, walk me out, because she knows if somehow the wildebeest that they call Nene released her, was able to escape security, that if Kenya's walking Eva, then Nene wouldn't charge at a pregnant woman. We'll hope, because according to Portia last season, a pregnant woman would not get into Nene's way. So security's holding Nene back. The girls make their way outside into the hallway, and they're leaving. At this point, everybody's leaving, and it's Nene that's back there, acting crazy or whatever. Kenny was like, ain't nobody got time for Nene. And so on and so forth down the hallway. Nene runs after the girls because she wants to talk to the girl. All I can think of because they showed a back profile of Nene in the robe charging towards the girl. That woman is built like a linebacker. I don't care. You know how some women can lose all the weight, but their body type is their body type? She's shaped like a cereal box. She's shaped like a linebacker. Nene, don't ever come for somebody's figure. Don't do it, girl. I suggest you use that time a lot more wisely, not like trying to figure out them edges. That's what I think you should do. It was a whole ass mess. Ooh. The next day, Nene visits Tanya to give Tanya the dirty on what's going on. Portia was arguing with this person. Portia was Kenya and her got into A, B, C, and D, and Tanya was like, oh my God, oh dear. Honey, Tanya was back in the room getting some serious something from her boyfriend Paul. She ain't got time to be running around with you chickens with this kind of nonsense. But Nene is catching her up, and Nene mentions something about, Kenya. She, in her confessional, she mentions, she calls Kenya a blow up booty. You better be quiet before I put a pin in the booty and shrink it. How original. Let me tell you something, Nene. I will take Kenya's blow up booty any day of the week. I'll take that one blow up booty as opposed to your whole your whole physical. This whole thing, there is nothing attractive about Nene on the outside and certainly not on the inside. Yeah, Kenya may have a blow up booty because that booty does look suspect, but honey, that woman keeps her body in tip-top shape. That tummy is flat. That hair is long. And that skin is looking much better, honey, and much smoother. Nene, go sit down. Nene, don't come for the pretty. I know, do you guys notice that Nene comes for the pretty girls? Nene certainly comes for the pretty girls. And I feel like Nene is very insecure. And what she calls shade towards the Portias, towards the Kenyas, girls that she can never be as pretty as in this lifetime and in the next, it comes from an insecurity, definitely. Thankfully, Yvonne went home. Thankfully, Nene got her behind on a plane to go home because there is no way I could have stomached seeing Nene in one of them nice carnival suits. Next day, girls are in costume. They are all looking good. They are ready to go to Carnival. They make their way to Carnival and everybody's busting a wine. And I noticed Kenya, she propped the leg up. I say yes. It was a great scene, and I needed to see the girls like just drinking, happy, dancing, whining. Kenny was like, I ain't dancing. I am not a dancer. It was a good moment, and I go to Carnival every year in Brooklyn on Eastern Parkway. So to see the girls in Toronto at Carnival having fun, drinking. Portia came with her Hennessy in a flask. Speaking of, I always thought putting liquor in a flask was tacky, but it's just something about the way Portia does it. I need to find a nice bejeweled flash. That's what they call it, right? Flask? To pour my Henny in because it's a money saver. I don't have to go around buying drinks. I could always have my little, my little gamer pouch right in my bag. Yeah, I got to look into one of those. I know Amazon will have one. So, I just felt the energy. I felt the heat. I felt, it was a very nice scene to see, especially after that, mess that we saw the scene prior. Kenya and Cynthia talk. Cynthia says that she met with her thing with Marlo is she met with Marlo before this trip, and she told Marlo her issue with her is stop inserting yourself between me and Nene's situation. Just don't do it, and she thought they came to an understanding, but then here, Marlo goes being messy, and then Nene, Kenya asks, what about Nene? And Cynthia says, as for Nene, why go to the trouble of giving me gifts? Why go to the trouble of trying to be nice to me for you to still be this evil toad and not say anything? But yes, Nene is an evil toad from the lands of the toad reptiles. I just can never, I can never talk enough about my disdain for Nene Leakes. I just cannot. If I'm ever in Atlanta and I see her, child, let's just say I wouldn't be fanning out. Okay, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. So they wrapped that scene up. Very nice scene, and I like the placement of the scene. You know, off of that negativity to have such a positive scene. Well done, and all of the ladies look great in their costumes. Very nice. So I can't wait until Labor Day, so I will be on the Parkway. Nikki, if you're watching, what up, girl? Tamara, if you're watching, what up? Tamika, girl, what up? We on the Parkway this year? Yes, we are. Next scene, the ladies have dinner. It was a very nice setting. Oh my gosh. Tanya, I don't know if you're responsible for this. I don't know if it's production, but y'all got class. Beautiful restaurant. Everyone's kind of wrapping up about what happened, you know, the night before. They mentioned how when Nene walked in, titties ablaze, everybody had to do everything, smell salts just to keep from throwing up. Wrapped all that other stuff up. Then Marlo joins. The first thing Marlo does is that she apologizes to Cynthia. That apology sounded so fake. And even if the apology was sincere, Marlo, we've seen you do this season after season after season. You're a mean drunk, Marlo. You really are. Remember that time when she got drunk and she almost fought Portia? I mean, you can apologize from here to Timbuktu. The next time you have a good drink and you're in your feelings about something, you will 100% come after Cynthia or come after Kenya or come after the next person. I did not believe her apology. Cynthia apologized as well, but Cynthia thought her apology was as sincere as I thought Marlo's apology was. They toast to not giving an F about Snakegate, and I am here for it. We're going to put Snakegate under the bridge. We don't believe there's a recording. We believe if there is a recording, Yvonne is probably behind it. And this is my thing. I do know why it matters. It matters because if there's someone in the group who's secretly recording these ladies, then that person cannot be in the group. So that being said, let's not try to uncover and dig. Just kick Yvonne out the group and problem solved. So they toasted to that, and I could have drank to that too. And then Marlo goes, Kenya, are you wearing a wig? And I was like, Marlo, I think she is. Because when Kenya came downstairs to join the ladies at dinner, I'm like, her hair texture is different. It looked thinner and it looked straighter. And Kenya was like, oh, Marlo, whatever. And I'm like, Kenya, if you're wearing a wig, you're wearing a wig. It doesn't matter. You have beautiful, exquisite, amazing hair. Sometimes you don't feel like doing the nonsense. Throw on the wig. Kenya, you were doing a little bit too much. So now, oh, damn it, Kenya. I'm Team Twirl. I'm Team Twirl all day, every day. And just to go back a little bit, all you Nene fans, it's not like I am biased towards Kenya because I feel like in this whole situation with Snakegate and her having Cynthia's back, I feel like she was justified. But I just want to reiterate that Nene used to be my favorite housewife. But as the seasons progressed, as she became bigger as a personality and had a bigger name, to me, she turned into an absolutely awful person. Absolutely awful. So I say all this to say, don't think I'm sitting here dragging Nene and I can't stand. I used to really like Nene, but her behavior as of a few years has been distasteful. And I'm going to leave it at that. So I always want Kenya to do better. Every season she comes back. This season with her having Brooklyn, with her being a wife, I'm like, she's going to grow. I'm always looking for that growth from Kenya, and I always feel like Kenya lets me down. This is a scene where Kenya let me down. Kenya, you were straight acting like a bitch. She brings up a conversation about, she says, Candy, you're married. Kenya says, I too am married. Girl, you are barely married. So Kenya, stop. Portia is engaged, blah, blah, blah. And you have a boyfriend. How do you feel how would you ladies feel if one of us knew that your man is cheating? Would you want to know about it? So everybody's like, oh, I would certainly want to know. Kenya's like, yeah, I would absolutely want to know about it. I would absolutely want to know about it. And I'm like, Kenya, where exactly are you going with this? You messy. Where are you going with this? So then Cynthia, thank you, Cynthia, for giving us context. Cynthia shows us the backstory. Cynthia says Kenya is putting me in a very uncomfortable situation because I know what Kenya's talking about. They went to a cookie shop. And I believe, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep it real. When I do these reviews, I guess I have to practice talking and my breathing. I get very gassy. So I do apologize every time I do that. I got to work on that. But Cynthia flashes back to Kenya and her being at a cookie shop. And I believe the cookie shop is in close proximity to Cynthia's wine cellar because I've been there before. And it's Cynthia's wine cellar. It's like it's in a stretch of several different stores. So inside look like where Cynthia's wine cellar is. So they're talking to the cookie lady. The cookie lady is giving them some tea about Paul, Tanya's boyfriend. Apparently, Paul was being very flirty and asked old girl for her number, and they ended up exchanging numbers. I'm like, cookie lady, you are being very messy. Did you have to carry that bone back to Cynthia and Kenya? And Kenya, what is your point for carrying that bone to Tanya? That moment, plus the moment earlier when Kenya was on the bus being messy and imitating Tanya, 2 + 2 = 4. Kenya, you don't like Tanya. Why the hell not? Why? Tanya does not come off confrontational. Tanya is so unbothered. Tanya is an absolute sweetheart. Kenya, are you upset at your own situation? And that's why you're coming for this lady? And if that may not be the case, granted, but us over on the other side of TV land, that's what we see. We see a bitter woman who's trying to bring down the spirit of another woman. Not cool, Kenya Moore. Just not. So Candy also knows because Candy put 2 and 2 together and got herself 4. And Candy was like, oh, I think Candy is talking about the cookie lady. So Candy poses a question to Tanya. And Candy, I'm going to have to get your ass for that too. Messy. Why ask her that question? Oh, Tanya, has Paul ever cheated on you? Tanya's like, oh no, Paul has never cheated on me. I have every code, I have every lock, I have everything to his phone. He has never cheated on me. Oh my gosh. And they asked, if he's cheated on you, how would you feel? Tanya, you don't see where these ladies are going with this? And Tanya's voice breaks a little bit, like she's going to cry, like, oh, I'd absolutely be devastated if something like that happens. And the episode ends there. Kenya, I was feeling you the first half of the episode because the way that you got at Nene on Cynthia's behalf was 100% justified. The way that you were coordinating Snakegate was 100% justified. But this right here with Tanya, that was no good and that was uncalled for. Like, you can be such a mean girl sometimes. That's not necessary. Do you always have to be the villain, Kenya? Girl, but next week looks like it's going to be turn talk too because, Kenya, now Kenya's coming, guns are blazing. Kenya was like, yeah, your man was trying to talk to the cookie lady and the cookie lady's better than you. And then, Tanya's no punk. So Tanya was talking to Portia and Candy and said, well, before Kenya left, she asked me to make sure something gets into the States. And I looked into the bag. I'm like, was it a vibrator? What'd you find in Kenya's bag? Was it silicone shots? Like, what was it? What? Yes, Real Housewives is heating up and I'm here for it. Thank you for watching my review. I'm wishing for you guys a blessed week. I'm sending you guys all the love and laughter from my soul. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I got a lot of stuff going on, so look in the description box, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. This is...